Okay, Unit 1, page 1. It says at the top, healthy lives. Could be a good topic. We're going to find out if it's good or not. And you can see on page 1, if you have it open already, that there is a lady and she's doing something. What is she doing? Don't tell them the answer. They're got to think about that for themselves, okay? Yes, some of you might have said that she's running. Okay, so what is the woman doing? She's running. Mocha, my lovely daughter Mocha shouldn't be in here when I'm recording this because we want you to think in English as much as you can and not take the answers from another English speaker, okay? So yeah, we could say she's jogging. We could say that she's running. We could say she's climbing the stairs, okay? Or more generally, we could just say she's exercising, right? She's getting her exercise. And why is she doing this? What do you think? Why would she be doing that? Is she in a hurry? Is she being followed by a monster or something? I don't think so. Maybe you think she's trying to stay healthy or to stay fit. Same meaning, right? To stay healthy or to stay fit. Or if you were really specific about it, you might say that she's trying to build muscles or to burn calories. Okay, let's take a look at page 2 and 3. Living a long, healthy life. Okay. You see the stop sign there. That means I'm going to ask you to stop the video for a minute and read pages 2 and 3 of the textbook. Okay. Anytime you see the stop sign, you know you've got some activity to do, either listening or something in the textbook. So in this case, it's reading pages 2 and 3 of the textbook and answer these two questions. Okay. What do these four countries, these four places in the pictures have in common? What do you think? How many of the tips, okay, there are tips for living a long, healthy life. How many of the tips for living a long, happy life do you practice? Okay, think about it. Turn off the video now and do the reading and thinking, and then we'll talk about it more in just a minute. Okay, we're back. I hope you had time to read it and think about it and come up with an answer. The first question I wanted to know was, what do these four countries have in common? Okay, we've got the Nicoya, I think it's pronounced, Peninsula in Costa Rica. We have Sardinia, which I believe is an island in Italy. Okinawa, Japan, there's another island you know very well. And Ikaria in Greece. Okay, what do these four countries have in common? Well, judging by the people in in the photos, um, and by reading it right there on the page, this map is showing us that there are places around the world where an unusually high percentage of the population is 100 years old or older, okay? So basically it means there's a lot of very old people in these places. And a lot of scientists, a lot of doctors and people wondered why. Okay, they're trying to figure that out still. Why do they live so long in those places? Okay, so maybe it's a combination of these tips, right? So how many of the tips for living a long, happy life do you practice? It's a great list of things, very, very healthy, okay? Healthy diet, exercise, do you get enough sleep? Do you spend time with your friends and family? Um, do you think positively? And are you grateful? That's an interesting one, okay? It's kind of the psychological part, right? What goes on in your mind. If you're happy about what you have and you're glad for what you get, then you're grateful, right? Grateful is like being thankful for something. Do you know how to manage stress? Um, and you shouldn't smoke, okay? That should be obvious to everybody right now that smoking is terrible, terrible for your health. Okay, let's move along. Lesson A, vocabulary. This is the vocabulary section on page 4. You can see the stop sign, so you know I'm going to ask you to stop for a minute. Mocha, please don't, don't. Anyway, let's continue. Okay, I'm going to ask you to stop in a second. It says read the textbook. So read part A and then listen to track 1.2 on my doc. Okay, so you have to have my doc open, like I said. So first you can go through and read it. Then you can do part B by listening. And after that, try the exercise in part C. Okay, see if you know those words. It's okay to use a dictionary. Take your time, see if you can get them all right, and stop the video here and give it a try. Okay, we're back. I hope you had a chance to do that. Let's take a look at the answers. Okay, page 4, part C. Number 1, stress. That's the difficulty in life that makes you worried. Okay, it's kind of an interesting word because we use it two different ways. Sometimes we talk about the difficulty as the stress, and sometimes we talk about that feeling we have about the difficulty as stress. So we feel stress because there is stress around us, right? There are things that make us stressed. Number 2, consists of, okay? That's the same thing is made up of, okay? Um, books are, books consist of paper, books, the writing in books consists of ideas, right? It's made up of ideas. Number 3, are likely, are probably going to, okay? It's probably going to rain today. It's likely to rain today, something like that. Number 4, habits are things that you do often or regularly. Okay, we talk about bad habits like smoking. Hopefully you don't smoke. Okay, that's a bad habit. Number 5, diseases are illnesses. Okay, pretty much the same thing. Sometimes we call it sickness. Okay, nobody wants to be sick. Nobody wants to have an illness. Nobody wants to have a disease. Page 4, part C, number 6, cause, to make something happen. Okay, this word's very useful because we often use it as a noun as well as a verb. Okay, sometimes we talk about there are many causes of unemployment, for example. There are many causes for the poor economy. Okay, but in this case, we're talking about it as a verb. Something causes something to happen, right? Number 7, provides. It's to give something or to make it available, right? The government provides us with help if we're in big, big trouble, okay? Number 8, prevent is to stop something from happening. Kind of an important word right now, right? Okay, people are trying to prevent the spread of coronavirus by wearing masks and staying 2 meters away from each other, right? And washing their hands. Thank you, Mocha. Um, Number 9, diet, the foods you eat regularly. Okay, keep in mind that this kind of diet is different from the expression, I'm going on a diet. So that kind of diet is something you do to, for example, lose weight or something like that. Or if you're in training, trying to build muscle, maybe you're on a special diet for that. But another meaning of diet is just the foods that you eat regularly. So we talk about the Japanese diet is often fish and miso soup and rice. Yeah, really. Number 10, attitude, a feeling about something or someone, okay? Um, if this word is another one that kind of has a mixed meaning to it, okay? I think it's actually the feeling we have towards something, okay? Or the way we act towards something. So on the one hand, it's the feeling we have, oh, that kid hates school. He doesn't want to go to school. He's got a bad attitude about school. And he shows it, right? And he shows it through his attitude, okay? The way he expresses himself about school, for example. Okay, so it's the feeling we have and the way we react towards something or someone. Okay, part 5, or page 5, part D, try the exercise, okay? Stop the video right now and give it a try. Okay, I hope you had time to answer those questions in Part D on page 5. Let's check the answers. Number 1, in Okinawa, good food and healthy habits may prevent health problems. Okay, it may help to stop those kind of health problems. And that's why they live so long in Okinawa, right? I think they have more 100-year-olds than anywhere else in the world, maybe. Okay, many, many 100-year-old people. Yes, really, yes. My father, number 2, my father always thinks he's going to get sick, but I have a more positive attitude. I tell myself, I'm going to stay healthy. Okay, that's her attitude towards health, right? She says she's going to stay healthy. She has a positive attitude. Number 3, my grandmother is 90 and very healthy. I think she is likely to live to 100. Okay, she will probably live to 100. Number 4, Ed has a lot of stress in his life right now. I think he needs to relax more. Okay, lots going on in Ed's life. Number 5, a healthy lifestyle consists of good food, regular exercise, plenty of sleep, and time with your family and friends. Yeah, it consists of a healthy lifestyle is made up of these things, okay? Same meaning. Number 6, the typical Sardinian diet, right, from Italy, the typical Sardinian diet includes a lot of fish and fresh vegetables. Maybe that's why they live so long in Sardinia. Number 7, eating too many burgers can cause health problems. Okay, yeah, definitely. Avoid McDonald's if you can. Number 8, smoking is a very bad habit. You should quit. Okay, it's something you do a lot. Number 9, today a lot of people in the United States suffer from heart disease. It's a very common illness, okay, heart disease. People have heart attacks, people have other medical problems about their heart. That's disease, right, illness. Number 10, grandchildren can provide comfort and happiness to their grandparents. Okay, provide, they give it to them, right? Okay, I hope you had no problem with those words. If you know them well, the listening will be easy when we come to that. Um, Here's a good question. You can try this questionnaire in part F on page 5, just for fun. Okay, if you want to do it, you could stop the video here. I didn't put the stop sign because it's not necessary. You don't have to do part F if you don't want to, but you can try. Just answer the questions. If you answer yes to every one of them, well, maybe you'll live to be 100. We'll see. I hope you do. I hope you have a great life. Okay, I'm going to move along, but you can stop the video here if you want to try part F. Okay, listening on page 6. Okay, I'm going to ask you to stop and do the listening, but first let's take a look at this page. It says, listen to track 1.3 on my doc and try the true or false questions in part A. Okay, correct the false statements. So if you think it's false, write the correct sentence, okay? Correct the sentence, okay? Stop the video now and give it a try. Okay, I hope you had a chance to listen to the audio. Again, all of those tracks are on my doc. If you haven't figured that out yet, you're probably in trouble. Okay, let's take a look. Number 1, true, public health nurses take care of one person at a time. That's true. Okay, that's funny. That's not what I was expecting, but yes, it's true. Okay. Number 2, true. Public health nurses take care of whole communities of people. Okay. Um, Actually, that's kind of interesting. I wonder if the first one was false, or if or if they're both true. Sometimes a public health nurse takes care of one person at a time. I think you should check that. Okay. I'm not really sure myself. I haven't done the listening in a while. But you can check that just to make sure. Maybe it's false and then true. I know number 2 is true. Number 3, public health nurses sometimes do their job by visiting companies. That's true. Okay, sometimes they're visiting companies. And number 4, tonight's talk will mostly be about the work of public health nurses. That's false. Tonight's talk will mostly be about heart disease and how to prevent it. Okay, hopefully you you made a correction, something like that. It doesn't have to be exactly like that, but somehow, okay? Let's move along. Page 6, part B. Check the topics that you think you will hear in the talk about preventing heart disease. Okay, it's just the ones you think you will hear about. Okay, there's no right or wrong answers, just what do you think? Okay, and after you're finished, listen to track 1.4 and check to see which topics were mentioned. Okay, so first you guess what you think you will hear about, then listen as many times as you like, and check to see which topics were mentioned. Okay. And then you can start the video again after that. Please stop it now. Okay, hopefully you had the chance to make your guesses and then to check which ones you heard. These are the ones that she mentioned. I hope you caught them all. Okay, she talked about attitude. She talked about blood pressure. She talked about diet and exercise and smoking and stress. So the only one she didn't talk about was social life. If you guessed that one too, don't worry about it. It's a good idea, right? Because we talked about how friends and family are important to keeping our stress down and keeping our health in good shape. So yeah, no right or wrong answers there. If you caught all of those, that's great. And let's move along. Yeah, social life was the one that wasn't mentioned, but it could have been. Page 6, part C. Let's read this part together. The listening skill, listening for main ideas. It's in the blue box at the bottom of the page. Let's try that now. Uh-oh, what happened here? Okay. Okay, well, anyway, let's read. Listening skill, listening for main ideas. When listening to a talk, you need to be able to identify the main ideas. The main ideas are the speaker's most important ideas or what the talk is about. Here are some techniques you can use to help you identify main ideas. Um, Probably the most important thing you've got to get when you're listening. You start with the main ideas, later you can get the details, right? So first point, listen carefully to the beginning of a talk. Most speakers will mention the main idea in their introduction. Yeah, almost always. Sorry, I can't change this for a second, but I wanted to show this and reduce that. I know, what if I, hold on a second. Sorry about this. It's gonna be rough for a few weeks because we're not used to teaching this way. We're not used to the technology yet, so, but she is. Good thing she's here to help, right? Okay. Okay, well, again, doesn't matter, but it says, listen carefully to the beginning of a talk. Most speakers will mention the main idea in their introduction. And it's so true, right? Whether you're studying English or you're studying German or you're studying French or you're studying some topic in Japanese, almost every teacher walks into class and says, good morning, everyone. Today we're going to talk about
something.
Nantoka, right? Something, okay? When you hear that, you know that the topic is coming up, right? It's very simple English, right? Today we're going to talk about, okay? If you catch that, you know the important thing is coming up next, right? One of the main ideas. The next point is listen for repetition. Speakers often repeat keywords and phrases to emphasize their main ideas, okay? If I start repeating myself, maybe I forgot what I said, but probably I'm telling you that it's important, okay? It's important.
Like having a healthy life.
Yeah, that's important too. Um, okay, so anyway, that's good to remember when you're doing your listening. Let's Okay, next, listen to track 1.4 again and answer the questions in part D. So please stop the video here and try part D. Part D, let's check the answers. Number 1, what advice does the nurse give for preventing heart disease? Okay, how can we try to avoid getting heart disease? She said a few of them. She said, get your blood pressure checked. That's a good idea, because if you can catch your blood pressure, if you have high blood pressure and you catch it early, you can get that treated. Deal with stress in healthy ways, okay? You can't just go out and drink, okay? That's not going to help, okay? It's going to cause more problems, okay? Deal with stress in healthy ways. Karaoke is a very good way to get your stress out, I think. You can try that. Or, of course, exercise is great too. Um, Eat a healthy diet, okay? Good food for good health. Get enough exercise, right? Those are all good ways um, to prevent heart disease. And of course, quit smoking. If you smoke, you probably know already smoking kills, okay? It kills us. All right. Number 2, what does the nurse say are some common causes of heart disease? She mentioned 3 of them, okay? High blood pressure is one thing, smoking, and high blood sugar, okay? All of these things, you should not be smoking, and the other 2 you have to have checked to make sure everything's okay. All right, part E on page 7, there's the stop sign, so please stop the video now, listen to track 1.4 again, and answer the questions in part E. Okay, hope you finished part E. Let's check the answers. Number 1, according to the nurse, if you have high blood pressure, you might need to lose some weight. Yes, I might need to lose some weight, actually. That's what my wife tells me anyway. Okay, so lose some weight. That's the first one. Number 2, according to government reports, healthy eating habits can keep your weight and your blood pressure down. Yes, that's true. And number 3, to deal with stress, the nurse suggests going for a walk or practicing yoga. Good way to deal with stress, very healthy. Okay, finally, the last thing you can do for this lesson is to think about the questions in part F on page 7. Okay, there's a couple of questions there. You can think about them now that you've finished all the listening. For the next class, I'd like you to complete the TOEIC exercises in set 2. Okay, that should be set 2. Really, you should have had set 1 last week, and you should have tried them, and you should have checked to see if your answers were correct. All the materials you need are already on MyDoc. Okay, you've got the listening, you've got the worksheets to print out, and yeah, I guess that's basically everything you need. You can also find the scripts, I think, too, maybe. Anyway, so please try the TOEIC exercises in set 2 for next week, for week 3. And in the meantime, like this video if you liked it. If you didn't like it, that's okay. I understand. You can always press the thumbs down. That's okay. And subscribe. So the next time I have a video up here, you'll get it in time. You'll be able to finish your listening and move on with your other studies. Anyway, thank you very much for being with me, and hang in there. Good luck. It's not easy studying online, but yeah, keep up the good work. Goodbye.